Hello, everybody. My name is Alan Huang. I am Director of PGT in the Strathclyde Institute of Education. So today I've prepared a short presentation about the range of PGT postgraduate taught courses in the Institute, just to give you an overview of what we offer at Strathclyde. And I'd be quite happy to answer any questions from you after the presentation. And so I'm going to just share my slides here. Can you see the slides okay, Moira? Sorry, I can't see you.
Sorry, yes, I can.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. We'll get started. So, welcome. Yeah, as I said, you will have the opportunity to ask questions at the end of the session. So just get on with the presentation. So I want to start today's talk with something that's, I think, quite relevant to a lot of you as you're thinking about applying or you have applied to study at Strathclyde for a course at master's level. Why do people typically study a master's course? And I did a short survey with my current master's students, actually, and these are the answers that they came up with. So some students study a master's course in order to boost their CV by adding a postgraduate level qualification. So I assume that all of you or most of you already have a undergraduate level qualification, such as a Bachelor's of Science or Bachelor's of Art. So you're probably thinking about whether you want to enhance your CV by adding a postgraduate level qualification. So studying a master's course would allow you to do that, first of all. Some students study for a master's course in order to develop the specialist knowledge and in-demand skills in the changing global job market. As we all know, with the rapid development of generative AI, as well as other automation and streamlining procedures and technologies that we see in the job market, in the workplace, we are seeing huge demand for people to upskill their knowledge and to develop skills that allow workers to cope with today's 21st century job market. So studying a master's degree, not just at Institute of Education, but Strathclyde University in general, would allow you to develop the specialist knowledge that's required in order for you to be more competitive in the job market. The third reason why some students study a master's course is to network with a group of like-minded professionals and world-class academics. The students that you will be studying with all have an interest in a particular area. So whether you're studying for an MSc Education Studies or MSc TESOL and Intercultural Communication, you'll be in a group of peers who will possibly be your co-workers in the future context. But being able to or learn to network with a group of like-minded professionals is one of the key skills that you must develop if you're thinking about things like future career progressions. And that leads to my last point, which is some students engage in a master's level program in order to either further their study or to move to the next level of their career. So some of our master's students, after they've done their studies with us, they then move on to a doctoral level study, a PhD or an EdD. So master's would be a bridge between undergraduate studies and postgraduate studies. Next level career is really thinking about promotions or changing jobs in a different field. So maybe you're interested in a profession that's in the area of education, but you don't really have the background just now. So this would be a stepping stone for you to secure a job in the field. So what is master's level learning? Again, just to give you a background of what it means, especially at the UK context. I know it might be slightly different when you're thinking about master's level learning and practice in other contexts, but in relation to the UK context, when we talk about master's level learning or M level learning, we are talking about the ability to critically analyze practice. So whether you're talking about teaching specifically, or you're talking about working in an educational organization, how do you critically engage with what you are doing on a day-to-day practice is key to master's level learning. So you basically you don't just do what you're told, but rather you're thinking about the benefits and the challenges and opportunities and linking it to the relevant literature and research in the area of interest. So later on, I will introduce the different programs that we offer at Strathclyde Institute of Education, but each program will have a specific area of research that is linked to. Master's level learning is also about focusing on areas which are of direct relevance to professional practice. So again, whether you want to specialize in autism, whether you want to specialize in teaching in an international school, we have the right course for you. So as a general sort of understanding, that master's level work typically requires critical understanding, demonstrating originality, creativity, and managing complex professional and ethical issues. And typically, it also requires a high level of autonomy as part of the master's level learning. If you're interested in getting a little bit more into it, you can look at what is called the CEFR, SCQF, which is the Scottish qualifications framework for different levels. At master's level, we are looking at level 11. So as you can see from the screen, I'm not going to read it, but you can see that there are 5 different areas that we are hoping that students can develop in terms of knowledge and understanding, in terms of practice, applied knowledge and understanding, generic cognitive skills, communication, ICT, and numeracy skills, and finally, autonomy, accountability, and working with others. If you're already a teacher in a Scottish school or in another country, you may already have a professional framework. In the Scottish context would be the SPR, the Standard for Provisional Registration. So this is already mapped to all 5 categories. But if you're from a different educational context, you might want to adapt it slightly to ensure whether you have the knowledge to engage in master's level learning. So this would be a useful exercise to do before you embark on master's level courses at Strathclyde. So without further ado, these are the master's courses that we offer at the Strathclyde Institute of Education. We have 9 courses, as you can see. The courses with the blue kind of symbol on the top right, those courses are available as distance learning or online learning. So you can study these courses even though you might not be based in Scotland. But those courses also offer, most of them also offer an on-campus version where you can come to Scotland and study face-to-face with other students and with our academics. I'm not going to get into each of the individual courses, but I have chosen a few just to give you a flavor of what the course is like. But more importantly, I want to draw your attention to what our students say about these courses. So I have collected some information from our former master's students studying on these courses. So yes, we have MEd. So these are Master of Education or MSc, Master of Science in Autism. We have a master's course on early years pedagogue, mainly for early years practitioners. We have MSc and MEd, Educational Leadership. So for those who are interested in leadership in the educational context, this will be the course for you. We have MEd Education Studies. We have MSc Education Studies as well. We also have an MEd Professional Practice. MSc TESOL, so these are teaching English to speakers of other languages, and intercultural communication. So for those who want to specialize in language education and intercultural communication, this will be a course for you. We also have MSc Applied Educational and Social Research. So for those who are particularly thinking about developing their research methods, knowledge, and skills, and thinking about possibly doing a PhD, this will be the course for you. And finally, the PG Cert in Education International. So this is a purely online course for teachers working in international schools around the world. So, starting with the MSc Education Studies, we offer two entry points. The September cohort, we often call it. This is what the curriculum looks like. It's worth noting that the curriculum or the modules, especially the elective modules, might change depending on the year, but this diagram shows you what it could look like. If you are enrolled on the course, the course leader will communicate, what the course curriculum will look like before you start the course, but this is just for illustration purposes. As you can see, we have compulsory modules. So these are the blue modules on this diagram. We also have elective pathways. In this particular course, we have three pathways. The putting theory to practice pathway, putting theory to practice and professionalism and professional learning pathway, leadership pathway, and also the philosophy of education pathway. So students do have a number of options that they can choose. This is the MSc Education Studies January intake curriculum. It starts from January every year. And I think most of you who are in this webinar are probably most interested in the September intake. But this is, again, just to show you what it looked like. You have thinking about education, frameworks for understanding learning, research methodology and reasoning, and globalization, society, and education policy as the compulsory modules. And you also have optional modules or elective modules that you can choose from. So Nicola is or was one of the MSc Education Studies students at Strathclyde. Here you can read her kind of testimonial about her experience studying on the course. So she found that the lecturing staff are very supportive, and actually studying for the master's degree, as you can see from the quote here, made her realize that she wanted to do a PhD in education. So she then went on to do a PhD in education, and she's just now completed her PhD, and she has become a member of the staff at Strathclyde Institute of Education. So she's now a colleague of mine, which is very interesting. But she was an MSc Education Studies student. She is from Scotland. You can read more about her experience by clicking on the link on the bottom of this slide. We also offer MSc TESOL and Intercultural Communication. We often call it TESOLIC. We also have two entry points, the September entry, September cohort, and the January cohort. This is what the curriculum looks like in the September cohort. We have the language learning in a multilingual world, contemporary issues in language teaching, introduction to intercultural communication, and research methods and reasoning in semester one. So quite a lot going on in semester one. For semester 2A, so that's starting from January, so it's the current semester that we're in, and we have the research methods and methodology research submission, or second half of the module. Students also get to choose two optional modules as part of the course, and they will start the dissertation process. For semester 2B, they don't have any taught modules anymore. They basically just need to collect data for their dissertation and do the write-up of the dissertation. And so the dissertation is typically a sustained piece of work between 12,000 to 15,000. So really you get to choose what you want to do research on. You get a supervisor to help you one-on-one, and you also get to present your findings in a thesis format, and you can really get into a topic that you're interested in. So the MSc TESOLIC also offers a January intake. The curriculum is very similar to the September intake. As you can see, you start with semester 2A, two optional modules plus research methods. And then semester 2B, you do the language learning module and the language teaching module. Plus, you also start a dissertation. For the last semester, from August to December, you have the final taught module, which is the introduction to intercultural communication, and then complete your dissertation for submission. So I have here a short video from Brendel, who was one of our MSc TESOLIC course. So I'm just going to play the video and to basically give you an idea of what he thinks about the course.
Hi, my name is Brendel. I've been a teacher of English for over 5 years in Nigeria. I decided to study MSc TESOLIC at the University of Strathclyde to internationalize my teaching experience. The highlight of my program thus far has been a firm understanding of the contemporary pedagogical approaches in teaching and learning the English language in the contemporary world. My understanding of language teaching and learning has evolved. For one thing, I now have a firm grasp of the role and integration of digital technologies in language teaching in the 21st century. The lecturers here are very professional and they're very educated. If you're thinking about studying at the University of Strathclyde, stop thinking. Complete your application and join us here.
Okay, and it's also worth noting that Brendel is now doing a PhD with us, and he's also secured funding for the PhD project. So it's very, very good student. The next student I want to introduce you to is Hong from Vietnam. She was also one of the TESOLIC students.
So I chose University of Strathclyde to pursue my master's degree in teaching English to speakers of other languages and intercultural communication was because, first of all, the ranking of this university is good, and second of all, the module listed are suitable for what I'm looking for and what I hope to develop for my future career. Never in my life I experienced such a cultural diversity like that. All of my classmates, they come from so many different countries. They bring to the class so many different cultures, and even my lecturers, they come from 5 different countries. This is such a new and exciting thing for me because I didn't have that much of opportunity to meet so many people from so many countries like that when I was in my home country. If I have to describe my lecturers in 3 words, those would be knowledgeable, supportive, and friendly. They have a really, really deep understanding about what we get to learn about this field at the TESOLIC, and they would try to support you and give you as much information and books, resources as possible for you to get your assignment done as well as your dissertation done. The third thing is they are super friendly. Like, I've never thought that I could express myself in class that comfortably. Like, we can literally have discussion in the most comfortable way possible while we're in class, which was also something new that I get to experience since I study here. Before the course, I've always thought that language teachers are just like many other teachers who teach different subjects. But now I do believe that the whole language teaching and learning process are much more inspirational, and language teachers should now be considered a guide to lead their students, not just about giving away knowledge from one person to the others. Don't wait and don't hesitate no more. University of Strathclyde will not let you down, and you will appreciate every single moment that you experience here.
Great. The next student wanted to introduce you is Liang Jie. He was also one of our TESOLIC students. He's from China.
Hi everyone, I'm Liang Jichen. I chose Strathclyde mainly because it's convenient location. Lots of jobs in the Glasgow city center. And I really like some of our class discussions about different English varieties and different cultures. Our teachers are warm and welcome, always willing to help. Yeah, this course has really changed some of my understandings of global Englishes. For instance, I realized the value of different varieties, and I no longer see non native English speakers as incompetent English teachers who teach standard English they don't really speak themselves. Yeah, for future students, just enjoy every day and explore more. Thank you. Hi, everyone.
Hey, we have another testimonial from student called Sumaya. She was also one of my dissertation students, actually. She really enjoyed the online platform that we use at Strathclyde, and she also recognized how passionate we are as subject specialists. So you can see some pictures of us having fun here. Okay, I'm going to move on to talk about some of the other courses from Strathclyde Institute of Education. So for those who are already teachers, especially in Scottish schools, these are the two courses you might want to consider. We have the MEd Professional Practice. We also have the MEd Education Studies. For MEd Professional Practice, you are able to bring 80 of the PGDE master's credits that you have already accumulated while doing the PGDE. You can then bring 80 to the master's degree, which means that you don't have to pay for those 80 credits. You then do a 20 credit research methods module plus a 20 credit optional module of your choosing. Before moving on to the dissertation stage. This is just an illustration. For part-time courses, typically it takes more than 2 years, but the fastest you can complete would be 2 years, I would say. If you have gained 120 credits, PGD master's credits, then you're allowed to bring all 120 credits onto the MEd professional practice. So which means that you only need 60 credits to graduate with an MEd professional practice. Again, this is mostly applicable for Scottish teachers only. So for year one, you will be doing the research methods module, and then for year two, you can complete a 40 credit dissertation. So this is what typically looks like. We also offer MEd Education Studies for Scottish teachers. This course is quite different from the MEd Professional Practice because it allows you to specialize in a particular area of interest. And due to the nature of this particular course, you are only allowed to bring 40 of your PGD master's credits onto the MEd Education Studies program. In year one, you then do 3 optional modules, or you can choose a specialism. So as you can see, we have specialism on educational leadership, philosophy with children, supporting teacher learning, inclusive education, health, well-being, and sustainability, technology-enhanced teaching and learning. All pathways have 3 modules that you have to complete in order to get the postgraduate certificate in that pathway. In year two, you then do a research methods module. That being said, you don't have to do all 3 modules in 1 year. If you are really busy at work, for example, you can choose to do 1 or 2 modules in year one and then complete the rest of the pathway in year two. So it's a really flexible approach. For year three, you then complete the final dissertation, which you will be assigned a supervisor to advise you and to support you in the entire process. So here's what MEd professional practice students have to say about the course. As you can see from the screen, that they really appreciate the knowledge that they've gained in terms of a better understanding of educational policy and practice. But also it's about giving teachers the confidence in their own practice and by linking it to research and relevant literature. course I want to introduce you to today is the MSc and MEd Autism. This course is suitable for individuals from a wide range of professions. They include education, health and social work staff, voluntary sector staff, international students with an interest in autism, and in autistic people and neurodivergent people, and also family members of autistic people. The MSc Autism curriculum looks like this. Typically, all modules are taught at master's level or SCQF level 11, the framework I talked about earlier today. If you are studying for the MSc, it's a full-time option. It's also an on-campus course where you have to be physically here in Scotland. You need 180 credits to graduate with a degree. 3 core autism and practice modules, 60 credits, and then autism practice and placement module, which is 20 credits, and then also research methods module, which is 20 credits as well. You then get to choose a range of optional modules. The optional modules are delivered online, and this is your opportunity to network and work alongside our distance learning part-time students who are typically Scottish students. You then complete a research project, which is also your dissertation. So Jerusha was one of the MSc Autism students. As you can see here, that she really enjoyed, her time here at Strathclyde, and she really appreciated learning about the emotional well-being of autistic individuals, and the sense of feeling belonged is also something that she highlighted in her testimonial. You can read more about it by following the link at the bottom of the screen. The last course I want to mention today is the IPGCE, or the Postgraduate Certificate in Education International course. This is a very, very international course, as you can see, because that's why I put a map here. But we have students from different parts of the world, different continents. This is a relatively new course, new addition to the Institute of Education. But as you can see, we have students who are international school teachers in China, Pakistan, Belgium, Vietnam, Spain, Portugal. So you really get to learn about the different educational systems in different parts of the world. So I am the course leader for this course, so I couldn't recommend this high enough. Last, I want to talk about why you should choose to study at Strathclyde. Because I did have to think really hard what makes us the perfect or the ideal place to study. I have to say, having worked at Strathclyde for 10 years now, these are my reflections. So in comparison to other universities, our students typically learn in small groups. So that allows students to really get to know each other, to build close relationships with their classmates and tutors, which we don't really, see in other institutions in the UK. Most of our courses, especially PGT master's courses, have a placement option or placement component. Some of them also offer students opportunities to volunteer in charity organizations. So we really give our students the best possible chance to develop their employability skills. As highlighted by one of our TESOLIC students, the students on our master's courses are from all over the world. They don't come from just one country. So you really get to interact and get to communicate with people from different parts of the world. Another kind of key point that I want to highlight here is the flexible learning options and specialisms. As you can see from some of the courses that I talked about today, they typically offer students the opportunities to do either online options or specializations, pathways, optional modules. So students really have their the opportunity to choose what they want to learn and how they want to learn once they're enrolled on a course. Our students also highlighted that the staff or tutors and lecturers are knowledgeable, friendly, and caring, and we do care, genuinely care about our students, not just in terms of their academic performance, but also their well-being, and we are also very, very friendly to our students. Personalized learning contents, including dissertation, is also something I want to highlight. We do offer our students one-on-one support when it comes to the dissertation phase. And finally, the extensive alumni networks and global reputation of Strathclyde is something that is quite crucial to our master's courses. These are the course leaders, all the master's course leaders. If you are interested, you can either get in touch with myself or you can get in touch with the course leaders directly. They are typically very happy to reply to your emails. So please do get in touch with us.